Sending money from the USA to Venezuela can be a challenging task due to the current economic and financial restrictions in place. However, there are still several ways to transfer funds to loved ones or business partners in Venezuela. Here is a step-by-step guide on how to send money from the USA to Venezuela. First, it is essential to understand the current restrictions and regulations in place. The U.S. government has imposed economic sanctions on Venezuela, which limits the transfer of funds to the country. It is crucial to comply with these regulations to avoid any legal issues. To send money to Venezuela, you will need to choose a reputable money transfer service that operates in both the USA and Venezuela. Some popular options include Western Union, MoneyGram, and Xoom. These services allow you to send funds online, in person, or through a mobile app. Before initiating the transfer, you will need to gather the necessary information, including the recipient's name, address, and bank account details. You will also need to provide identification and proof of address to comply with anti-money laundering regulations. Once you have chosen a transfer service and gathered the necessary information, you can initiate the transfer. The process typically involves creating an account with the transfer service, entering the recipient's details, and selecting the transfer amount. You will then be prompted to pay for the transfer using a credit or debit card, bank account, or cash. The transfer service will then convert the funds to Venezuelan bolivars and deposit them into the recipient's bank account. The transfer time can vary depending on the service and the transfer method, but most transfers are completed within a few business days. It is essential to note that the Venezuelan government has implemented currency controls, which can affect the transfer of funds. The official exchange rate may not be available, and the transfer service may use a different exchange rate, which can result in lower funds being received by the recipient. To avoid any issues, it is recommended to use a transfer service that offers competitive exchange rates and low transfer fees. You should also inform the recipient of the transfer details, including the transfer amount and the expected delivery time. In conclusion, sending money from the USA to Venezuela requires careful planning and attention to regulatory requirements. By choosing a reputable transfer service and following the necessary steps, you can ensure that your funds are transferred safely and efficiently. It is crucial to stay informed about the current regulations and restrictions in place to avoid any issues with the transfer.